So the FX series Archer has kind of jumped the rails recently. After ISIS shut down and Cyril opened a private detection agency, Archer got shot, and that season ended with him bleeding face down in a pool. Instead of dealing with this issue, the series' next 2 seasons were Dreamland and Danger Island, implying, to me at least, that Archer is either in a coma or in his version of heaven living out different action hero fantasies. But we won't know the truth until the series gets back to the real timeline, assuming season 7 was part of the real timeline and not just another spin-off like Dreamland. It's also equally possible that Archer died of cancer years before and everything since has been part of his heaven-like experience. And even though this is all important stuff to figure out, it's not why I'm here today. This video is about determining whether Archer's father could be Lex Trexler or Nikolai Jakov. Looking first at the eyes, both candidates have brown eyes while Archer has blue. So without a full genetic test of these cartoon men to see if either of them carries the recessive blue-eyed gene, then brown eyes gives us no hints. Next, to look at the nose, Nikolai has a relatively straight nose with a bulbous tip. Lynn Trexler, however, has a bump in the bridge of his nose, just like Archer. And while Lynn's jawline isn't a very close match, his lips and cheeks definitely resemble Archer's as well. Although Nikolai has the cleft chin like Archer, and their ears are very similar. So what's the answer? Well, I think the answer is that there is no answer. At least, not physically. During the few times the show has had a flashback to Archer's father, he hasn't had any hints of a Russian accent.
I hope you like alligators.
I do.
So, unless we chalk that up to a faulty memory, I think that throws Nikolai out of the running. Although, to be honest, the flashback dad could have been a fake or a third candidate who didn't know he wasn't the real father. We have no idea and really no way to figure it out because even Ron has enough matching features that he could have been Archer's father. And if we try to analyze the voice of Archer's father, it sounds like it could have been Cyril or Krieger's father, if Krieger even had a father.
Your mother doesn't know I'm here, but I wanted to bring you a birthday present.
But the voice is definitely not Lynn or Nikolai. And based on the flashback clip, Archer's father was not supposed to visit him, whereas Lynn and Nikolai have both seemed surprised to learn that they could be his father. So here's what I think the true is. Mallory was a very crafty secret agent, and her husband, whom she adored, was killed on the job, as Mallory recalls,
A beautiful man, blue eyes, full lips, black, thick, wavy hair.
That was her husband, and when he died, Mallory kept his name and his fortune, but she also found out that she was carrying his baby, and as Lana showed us, pregnant isn't an easy thing to be as a spy. So, being a smart woman and actually copying many different animals in the wild, Mallory romantically cozied up with all the major players around her. So Mallory made bedfellows of the new head of the KGB, the up-and-comer poised to take over Odin, as well as countless other important men in power. And this was not done because she was a loose woman with questionable morals, but because she needed something like a plausible accountability. Kind of like how a cheetah might mate with all the males in her area so that no one attacks her offspring. Mallory knew what she was, what her husband was, and the odds were high that her son would be mentally and physically built for secret agent work too. And having slept with every top dog in the spy community meant that Mallory had a safety net, a card she could repeatedly play where, if her son's life was in jeopardy, she could scream out, "Our son!" and immediately save Sterling's life. But this was a card that had to be played in emergencies only. She couldn't have a baby and then tell a dozen different men that they were the father, because then DNA testing and paternity rights would come into play, and that made things more dangerous. No, Sterling could not have a father because he had to be an open secret until he was an adult and couldn't be stolen from Mallory. But I suspect she had to use that card to save Archer once before his 6th birthday, and that's why a man came with an alligator gift. That's also why he claims he's not supposed to be there, because Mallory can't have someone openly posing as Sterling's father, just in case she has to play that card again with someone else. Also consider that Mallory is a very very cold, seemingly uncaring woman, even though she's very defensive and upset if Archer ever gets in trouble. Well, Mallory being so hands-off with her son would be easily explained if Archer's father was a deceased agent that she really loved. If Archer looked just like his father, that would hurt his mother so much that she could barely stand to look at her own child, and that caused her to lash out towards a kid in unkind, isolating ways. Mallory loves Sterling very much, but she never processed her husband's death enough to face the reality that Sterling was there and her beloved husband was gone for good. So instead, she became this drunken socialite type that's trying to get through life and keep her son alive. And not only does that answer who Archer's father was, but it really gives us an entirely new perspective on Mallory Archer as well. It might not be reality, but theories are more fun. Well, that's all I have for now, but this video's not quite over yet. I get a lot of comments that say, do a theory on this topic, but I've already done those theories. So please consider going to my main channel page and clicking on the video tab so that way you can see everything I've done. You will probably find a lot of things you like that you never even knew that I posted. I want to let you know that I also have 2 other channels, Say Halo Goodbye Gaming and the Family Vlogs. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to hit subscribe and share. I can use all the help I can get to let other people know that this channel exists. And if you made it this far, leave me a comment that says something like, hey, I made it to the end, and then let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I can't make any promises, but the more people that request something, the more I can look into it. Okay, well, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.